आपादमौलिपर्यन्तां गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरतेन विघ्नप्रणश्यन्ति च मनोरथः लक्ष्मीतनोतु नितरामितराणपीक्ष्यमङ्कृत्वा निगमशाखिशिखाप्रवालम् हैरम्बमङ्गुरुहडम्बरचौर्यनिग्रं विघ्नाद्रिभेदशतधारधरन्तर्णः सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. This is the positive psychology session, and it is Abhyasa always has it has a influence on the positive psychology as well. So here, positive psychology, just on the basis of psychology itself, the reason why we tend to lean towards a certain mindset, positive, negative, whatever it may be, is because of practice only. Because we are so used to it that we tend to follow that particular routine. So again, practice becomes important for positive psychology also, to cultivate a positive outlook. So that is, we know what practice is. It means it's a repetitive action, and it with every action there has to be improvement. That is practice. That's all. So what are the different practices associated with positive psychology? Mindfulness practice is one important one. We know what is the state for a state of mindfulness is. Not dwelling on any thought, but rather being observant and being well aware of everything that is happening. So that is not possible with just one go, because, like I said, we cannot dwell on any thought, and we have this problem of judging each and everything. So it has to be away from it. We have to stop. We have to force our mind to stop judging something and then move. So this helps us to bring about present moment awareness, that is current, whatever is happening, that is in the moment. And it also reduces that future thinking. Futuristic thinking can sound very positive, but what it leads to is uh, convergence. If I'm thinking, okay, if I have a goal like I should do this in the future, that is fine. But when I do dwell a lot on that thought, then what happens? It has a different, it's a 360 degrees, right? So it starts to think in those ways positive, but also in those ways negative. Like, what if I'm not able to do it in this time? Like that. So here, mindfulness practice is trying to reduce that stress. So therefore, by not judging, we are trying to practice, cultivate a state of being aware of things, so that it increases that well-being. So therefore, this is mindfulness practice is one practice that is very popular in positive psychology. Then gratitude practice, we have already spoken about this. It's extremely important for us to be thankful for whatever we are able to do, and we have also spoken about the different ways of gratitude practice. So this is gratitude practice is also extremely important. Then self-care practices. Self-care practices basically, what we need to, I think we had spoken about this when we are talking about the concept of shastras, the yantras, and the tantras. Here, whenever we are chanting, whenever we are meditating, the yantra is the body, our body. So we should first learn to condition, keep this yantra, keep this instrument in the proper condition. See, yantra, we are saying it in a more uh, classification manner, but as per the text, instrument they have also given. Sharira is the instrument of expression of karma. So this instrument must also be kept in a good shape. Good shape as in not in terms of vanity, not a vriddhi in that sense, but keep it in a sense, keep it in that state where it can support the sadhanas. Let us say I want to do vrikshasana. I want to do it for 15 minutes, but I've never done it in my life. How is it possible? So cultivating that kind of that self-care practice is basically to understand that the instrument we are existing in the instrument, unless and until I can merge with the supreme consciousness, this body is still going to be my seat of conscious, where my conscious is going to dwell. So therefore, this instrument must be kept in a good shape, and that good shape can be in three terms also. That is spiritually well off, mentally well off, and physically well off. So that is self-care practices. Then positive thinking practices. What is positive thinking practices? Example would be thinking of any live encounter that we have, any situation in a positive manner. See the best in things. In Kannada, there is a statement also. Agodella ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಕ್ಕೆ. Whatever happens, happens for the good, happens for the best. So we have that. We are humans, so we have that expectation, and therefore, immediately when there is some incident, and that is, we try to compare our expectations with it. But while we do that, we need to understand that we whatever has happened, regardless of what my expectation was, is for the best. There is a positive in that as well. And this outlook is not attained at immediately. It also needs practice. So we need to first think about, we have a tendency, right? So initially we will start thinking about what is wrong, but I should also focus on bringing about now what can be done. Is that state better than what I had previously felt about? What is better in the current state than my expected state? This kind of thinking, positive thinking practice, is going to reframe the negative thoughts. So this is one kind of practice. So these two practices, these four practices, and will increase our positive emotions, and it will bring about more balance, and it is going to increase our resilience also, because we are thinking, we are looking at the positive side of things. And here also, what is the most important thing? Consistency of it. Consistency of a practice is extremely important. Here, that is where consistency is with respect to time. If I'm doing it now, let us say I have made it a point to uh, chant 108 rooms every day in the morning. So it should be every day in the morning. Otherwise, it will not have the same continuity effect like it has when I do it every day in the morning. If I do it today in the morning, then tomorrow I do it in the night. There's already been a gap of more than 24 hours. So the mind is not going to register that change, that positive attitude. That is the reason we need to make sure that there is consistency in our practice. Next, duration of practice. Make sure that there is some kind of improvement in it. Intensity of practice. I cannot switch on I cannot go through the shots and say I'm going to uh, do dhyana. So intensity it be, and it should be gradual. I cannot immediately start and sit for I like let's consider Bhagavad Gita. I cannot sit with the Gita and then chant all the 700 slokas at a stretch. That is not possible. The intensity is, first let us chant the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter. Now let us chant 1 to 3, then 4, 5, 6, 4 to 6, then 1 to 6, like that. So there has to be gradual increase in intensity. It is not sudden. It cannot be achieved like that. So the intensity cannot be one day I just get up and I say, oh, I'm going to chant now. No, that is not possible. Next, self-compassion. That means understanding failures. Today I'm not able to do 100 push-ups. I need to understand the body's limit also. I'm not able to do 108 Surya Namaskaras. Feb 4th is Ratha Saptami, on which day usually 108 Surya Namaskara is done. If I don't practice now, how is it possible that I'll be able to do it on that day? Even on that day, the norm is 108, but I'm already tired. It's already 72, only two-thirds of it is completed, but I'm exhausted. I need to understand myself as well. I need to show kindness to myself. So that also, self compassion is also extremely important. So there are different programs that has been developed on this as well. So mindness, attaining a mindful state is extremely important for stress reduction. So there is a program called as mindfulness based stress reduction. Then there is gratitude interventions, etc., etc. These are tools, but we have already spoken about this. So we know that practice is extremely important to cultivate a positive mindset and for positive psychology. So this is the positive psychology session for the 53rd shloka. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः प्रतिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषा ओ ब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि।